After a short break for the holidays, the Racecraft Outlaws Sprint Car Series is back in action. At one of iRacing's newest courses, we are ready to go racing with the 410 Sprint Cars live on Racecraft TV. We're happy that you are spending your Tuesday night with us here on Racecraft TV, where it's expected to be an exciting round as we get back to action with the 410 Sprint Cars in the Racecraft Outlaws Sprint Car Series. I'm your host, Joshua Lee. Joining me in the booth tonight is Terry Radford. And Terry, as we continue this campaign, as we continue on with the season, a lot of excitement heading into the back half of this calendar as we now come to one of the newest tracks on the iRacing surface when it comes to the dirt, with a lot of exciting places still left to go and a champion to crown.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you look at the schedule here with I-55 Speedway tonight, Cedar Lake next week. That's a very fun, racy racetrack. Knoxville, Iowa, one of the mecca centers when it comes to dirt racing. I'm more looking forward down there to Kokomo, Lucas Oil to end our season. There's a lot of great races, but let's not discount Charlotte there, January 31st to enter there. And hopefully I'm here for that February 7th race because, well, that's the day after my birthday. So we'll do a little RSR, then come over here and do this.
Hopefully you don't party a little bit too much after the RSR race on February 6th, but I won't discount Lima Land on that schedule as well. All these short tracks, of course, Lima Land on the campus, Lima, Ohio, of UNOH, the University of Northwestern Ohio. That's their track. Very short, quick track for these 410s. Lucas Oil, another brand new track as well. Lernerville, of course, no outside wall through 1, 2, and 3, and 4 in the back straightaway. That's a very interesting place to have the second to last round of the campaign. But we transition over now to where we sit currently with the points. And it's a tight battle between Aiden Forster. Of course, he's also dually competing in the World of Outlaws Car Quest Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing right now. Josh Edmondson, of course, talented, whether it's off-road, whether it's rallycross, whether it's 410 sprint cars, anything on dirt. Josh Edmondson is going to be quick, with Winkler, McFarland in their own battle for third, and Lindy, Whitner, Baldwin, Aish, Mikolajczyk, and Beerline rounding out the top 10. A lot of close battling happening up in the top, and Aiden Forster's not running away with this thing too much.
Yeah, and like you talked about with Josh Edmondson, great on anything dirt. You put him on four wheels. I'm sure if we had dirt bikes in this on dirt, he's going to be a force to reckon with too. Aiden Forster's not taking off. I mean, you look at the battle right there between Sean Winkler and Eric McFarland. That's 2 points, 10 points for fifth between Eric and Matthew Lind. There's a lot of battles up and down this board, and that's also what makes this type of racing and this league one of the most competitive dirt leagues on iRacing.
The dirt bikes gives me a great idea to go pitch something to Chris Leone after this. Some Monster Energy Supercross in iRacing. I'll take it.
Bring the dirt bikes over here to iRacing. That'd be pretty cool.
Everybody bother Chris Leone with that right now. Don't actually do that. He's a very busy person, and we've already bothered him with a lot of off-road stuff, so we won't give too much to the Supercross side. But as we transition out of qualifying, 9 drivers, excuse me, taking time in qualifying, we will have one heat of action before we get going with the warm-up and with our feature race tonight. So only one heat. This will set the order for tonight's feature, and they line up as follows as we get ready to go racing in the only heat of the night. Ryan Hodge, the fastest man in qualifying, and a very quick one at that. He'll start on the pole with Evan McFarland to his outside. Matthew Lind and Josh Edmondson going to share row 2. Josh Fox, Aiden Forster going to be 5th and 6th on the grid as we look to the rest of the drivers. Adam Alderton, he's very familiar with dirt racing. Of course, we're very familiar with him. Racecraft Rallycross, and in the Rallycross qualifying series, he starts 7th. Dylan Baldwin in 8th. Danny Aish going to round out P9. The Aussie native going to start at the tail end of the field. But as we roll off here for our 2 pace laps tonight, Terry, I want to talk about Adam Alderton because he fairly very new to this league. This is only his first race, just accepted the league invite only about 40 minutes ago, and he's making his first start tonight, but he is no slouch. He is very quick on dirt as well, and we've really seen him a lot in Racecraft Rallycross, being one of the quickest there, and I'm expecting him to be quick here tonight too.
Oh, absolutely. And you hear a lot about his name through the iRacing community. If you get into a dirt race on the official side of it, you're going to run into him out there. I stay away from dirt as much as possible. If you want a guy jumping outside of here, that's call me. I know somebody that can definitely do that.
On the flip side, my highest I rating is actually Dirt Oval. It's actually Dirt Road. Dirt Oval, a very close second. But we're ready to go racing with drivers that are much better than me and Terry as they race down into turn number 1. Only heat of the night is green, and already we got cars almost going around. Edmondson making contact. That's Matthew Lindy around in the middle of the pack. Aiden Forster involved in it as well. Danny Age gets a piece, but Ryan Hodge is going to pull away with the early race lead as they already make their way onto lap number 3 off of turn 4. And that was a big moment there to begin the first heat. Lindy very loose in the middle of the pack. Terry makes contact with a handful of machines.
Yeah, and unfortunately on these starts here on dirt, whenever you kind of, it kind of looked to me that maybe he just got on it too hard, maybe spun the tires a little bit, got squirrely, the back end didn't want to plant with him. He falls to the back. He's on pit road now, so he is going to start dead last in our feature race. But you know, the guy we were just talking about, already up to 4th, starting to close in here. So making a good first impression so far. In an outside second row, could potentially go inside the second row, doing really good. But also Hodge and McFarland, there's, you know, separated themselves quite a bit because of that little argy-bargy in the middle of the pack. But it's not over yet. We got 3 laps to go, and golly, we're already 7 laps in.
Very, very short track here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. It's 2 to go this time by for Ryan Hodge, who leads the way. But this is the battle for 3rd. There's the send from Alderton. Slide job on World Championship competitor Josh Fox in the 121 to the inside. Fox trying to come back, but Alderton very quick around the outside. Now using that to his advantage in the 27. But white flag is out, and just like that, here comes the checkered with Ryan Hodge taking the win of our first and only heat race of the night, and Alderton holds on for a podium spot in start number 1. Well done for the 27, and well done for Ryan Hodge to grab this heat race win. And how about Evan McFarland getting 2nd place as well? He's fighting for a lot of points with Alderton, like we just mentioned, in 3rd. Josh Fox in 4th. Josh Edmondson to round out the top 5 with Dylan Baldwin, Danny Aish, Aiden Forster, Matthew Lind rounding out the full field of drivers as we enter into the warm-up period here. Terry, we won't take a traditionally longer break as we just began the night, but where we sit right now as we get ready for the feature, this is where all the points are going to be on the line. They got points in qualifying, they got didn't receive any points in the heats. Now we're getting ready for the feature where all the points are on the line tonight, and Aiden Forster, points leader, gonna start P8 on the grid at a short track. Only 35 laps will be racing in the feature. We finished 10 laps in about 3 minutes. It's not going to be a terribly long feature and a lot of traffic for Aiden Forster to try and work his way through.
Yeah, that is the challenge at most of these dirt tracks. You don't find many that go to the NASCAR side that me and you are accustomed to doing, or mainly I'm accustomed to calling, where you have a 1.5 mile track to go make passes happen. It normally roughly goes about 30-40 seconds. Well, this is like 5 seconds we're turning laps around here. You know, you have that small condensed time, and to make your way through the field, with it being a smaller field, you kind of give yourself that opportunity. But that lead car and the 2nd place car, if they're able to single file out and get a good jump and a good launch on this start, I think we'll be just fine to see if he could slice his way and do a lot of dive bombs to get some passes.
And how about some of the other drivers in the field? Of course, we've seen a steady progression from Josh Edmondson, really where he began the season, kind of got off on the wrong foot with these 410s. They are very, very quick and very, very punchy, I think is the word that I like to use to describe it. Very different from the Pro 4s or the Pro 2s that Josh Edmondson is accustomed to racing in. But he really took to these 410s well, and now is in a battle with Aiden Forster for the points lead, that with him starting a little bit further up the grid, starting in 5th versus Aiden Forster starting in 8th, he's got an opportunity to make up a couple of points, being only 16 back.
Well, then you think what we just saw in the heat as well, to kind of allude to what you were saying. If something happens and Josh Edmondson misses it, and Aiden Forster catches a piece of it because he started so far back, well, Josh Edmondson's going to look like a genius. You know, just 3 spots make a big, big difference when it comes to this type of racing, because somebody could have a stalled start right in front of him and he could go up and over, and then it's race over for him so far. And then it's an opportunity then to capitalize and to seize the opportunity. But how cool is this racetrack? Sitting here for the first time looking at the billboards all the way around it. I mean, this track's been you know, relatively new to us. but to see Speed Channel, to see all these different billboards up here, that just takes me back to when I used to watch racing on MAV TV and Flow and all that here from this track.
And we'll take a look high above with our courtesy of our friends at Google Earth with what we're seeing in the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. We mentioned it being fairly new to the iRacing service. Of course, not quite as new as Lucas Oil Speedway, not quite as new as Lincoln Speedway that was just added in the last update, but still one of these short tracks that really take well to these 410s. They require a bit of finesse. It's not full throttle all the way around. You gotta be smart with it, and we'll see who is going to be able to tame this track the best as we get ready to go racing in the feature. Warm-up will conclude on out, and it's time to go racing in the feature race for the Racecraft Outlaws Sprint Car Series, the 6th round of the season from Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. 9 drivers ready to take the starting grid, and this is how they'll line up. It's the results from heat race number 1 with Ryan Hodge and Evan McFarlane. They started top 2 in the first heat, and they finished top 2. That's exactly where they'll start, with Adam Alderton in 3rd, Josh Fox in 4th, Josh Edmondson gonna round out the top 5 with Dylan Baldwin in 6th. Further back from there, it's Danny Aish and Aiden Forster on row 4. Matthew Lynn gonna round out the field after he had trouble in the opening corner, losing a bit of that car on the back end when he came through turns 1 and 2. So that's where he is going to be starting now in the feature race tonight as we get ready to go racing for what is set to be the 6th feature race of the season and 35 laps and a predicted race time, Terry, what I'm seeing on HTVO of just under 6 minutes. These cars are fast. This track is fast. This race is going to be gone in a blink of an eye, which means these drivers have to make moves and they got to make them quick.
Yeah, and you know, you bring up in a blink of an eye, you know, yesterday was a pretty tough day across the world, and I know this is off the topic of what we're talking about with the 410 sprints out here at the racetrack, but you know, you never know how special life is, right? You know, it's in a blink of an eye, everything is gone. I mean, we watched Buffalo Bills player in intensive care. It could all be over in a blink of an eye, and then, you know, Ken Block, who everybody grew up idolizing, you know, we lost him. So, you know, in a blink of an eye, this race is going to be over, and it's good to have all of these drivers out here on the racetrack, and we're not saying anything other than, hey, we're racing at I-55 for, you know, some 410 racing.
Off-road racer Robbie Pierce also unfortunately passing away today. So we wish our condolences to the Hammond family, the Block family, and the Pierce family as we get ready to go racing from Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. We're green for round number 6, and it's Ryan Hodge that is going to get the best start and dive his way through the opening couple of corners. But here comes Alderton from 3rd. He's going to already look for a bit of more on the track as he tried to go for 2nd. It's 3 wide in the back as Fox makes hard contact with the outside wall in 1 and 2. Loses many spots down to 7th as we're still 2 by 2 now, and Alderton gets loose on the blue groove. Contact made with Dylan Baldwin as here comes Forster to look for a podium spot.
Yeah, that was a hard contact right there for the 121 of Fox. He really clobbered that wall and almost walked it all the way through. But you see, oh, second, oh no, there's Baldwin. There's the 20 of Forrester. Baldwin got in it as well. They're wrecking back in the back. Oh no, the 3's in it. Did it? Oh, Edmondson got a piece of it too, didn't he?
Josh Fox also getting a piece of that one as well as he'll get that 121 rotated back. But what an incident there on lap number 4 in turns 1 and 2. We'll look back to see what happened as the caution flag did fly. Wondering where that incident began because it looked like it was ahead of all of these drivers. I believe it might have been Evan McFarlane. As we look back again, McFarlane up on the outside wall. Yes, he just slams the outside wall in 1, slams into Forster. He ends up getting sent back to the pit lane there. But then it was just a lot of carnage back from that moment that all started by a small tap to the outside wall. There's Forster getting damaged. There's Alderton. There's where Edmondson came in. Josh Fox, Matthew Linds, and I believe Danny Aish also getting a piece of that one as well to bring out the first caution of the evening on lap 4.
Yeah, Aish is just, he has not had luck this season. I mean, we've sit here and called these races, and it seems like every time Something happens in front of him. Trouble catches him, and he's had good runs as Green comes back out. He's had good runs, but unfortunately, the luck has not been there. He's hit. Everybody has hit him. He has not hit them.
Only one driver went to the pit lane. That was Evan McFarland. He was back on the racetrack. Aiden Forster at the tail end of the field. And now goes one lap down. Forster very slow on the outside line. I believe he just came out of the pit lane to get some damage repaired. So he's now back on the racetrack with Ryan Hodge leading the way. Dylan Baldwin in second. Closest battle on the track, Matthew Lind versus Josh Edmondson. This is about for fourth as we see that groove starting to develop through the middle portion of the corners, but it's extending up towards the wall, especially on the entrance to turns 1 and 3 and the exit of turns 2 and 4. That groove is only going to make these cars even more loose, and you want to just dive into the corner even more, which can be difficult to catch without that moisture in the dirt that we see on the non-colored portions of track.
Yeah, but you see him working it up here there from bottom to the top there for the 58 of Edmondson. He went down, pulled the crossover on Lynn, and is able to hold it. Now he's hunting here. He's hunting for third. We get a three-way fight here, so the battle still rage on across the board in here. But remember we were talking about Aiden Forster back there, starting a little further back? Well, he's one lap down now, and now that this race is really, you know, I would say calmed down, had a little bit more patience here as you go on board here from the top with the speed shot or speed 51 shot cam, I guess that's what we're looking at. But not having the race that he wanted at all, and this kind of helps too, because look, McFarland just went the pits, went 2 laps down, and well, Edmondson's going for second.
Problem for Dylan Baldwin as well. He pulls it into the pit lane, now 3 laps down, but this is the battle for second place. It's Adam Alderton versus Josh Edmondson. This looks very familiar for anybody that's watched Racecraft Rallycross in the past, especially. These two have gone up against each other multiple times, and they've come out on top of each other multiple times, and now they're fighting in 410 sprint cars. Looks a lot different than the Rallycross cars they're used to battling in as they make contact off of turn 2. Alderton slamming the outside wall in turn 2. He comes down into the 58. All this is doing, Terry, is inviting Matthew Lind in the 3 to join the fight.
That it is, and look at that power off the exit there for Alberton. 19 laps to go. This race is far from over from these 3. I mean, you see fishtailing for the 27. He got up there and was trying to mash the power down, and he's giving it all he's got. He got loose right there, wasn't able to keep the car underneath him. Now he goes up the racetrack, catches the wall, and he's hunting for grip. He's searching every piece of this racing surface to try to get some type of grip and some forward bite out of this little car.
Already over halfway done with this race. Just a couple of minutes left as they continue to fight on, and Edmondson is checked out from that group now. He's gotten that gap that he needed and is now trying to work the outside cushion in that number 58 with only 14 to go at the line. How about Ryan Hodge? And caution flag is going to fly, and I believe Adam Alderton just ran into a problem on the racetrack to bring out yet another yellow flag, only the second one of the evening. But what has happened to Adam Alderton in the 27? Let's see if we can figure it out. I only say it might have been him because he pulled it into the pit lane very sporadically. He gets loose off of turn 2 there, goes up, slams the wall, and into the catch fence he goes, which is automatically going to tow him right back to his pits.
It's not a good first race here for our friend in the 27. Into the wall he goes. Heavy damage. I mean, he went right into the catch fence, reset him automatically. But now this invites to see what Josh has in the 58. Can he challenge the 19 machine up here in the race lead to give him an opportunity to fight for something? This could be the points opportunity that he needs. I mean, Josh is right there in the points fight. Now he just needs to capitalize.
Only 13 laps remaining when we go back to green. Hodge on the inside line as Edmondson lines up on the outside. Green flag back in the air as they fight their way to turn 1. Ryan Hodge takes that lead with Edmondson trying to fight from second. How about Matthew Lind? The only 3 drivers remaining on that lead lap after the carnage we've had at the start of this race, with Matthew Lind left to try and fight for any points he can possibly get. But this is big for Edmondson, Terry, with Forster being in 7th. Edmondson, with the possibility to walk away with second place points, is going to edge away at that 16-point gap he's got.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to catch Hodge here. Hodge pulled out to a 1.5 second lead. Josh has damage. Lind has damage. So they're out there literally fighting just to stay here. You got 3 cars left, which is about right for a dirt race that has a whole lot of high octane, racing. Everybody's been, at their at the edge of the limit here to try to figure out what they're going to do to get these points, but it's almost a 3-second lead here for Hodge. He's literally riding that thing to the very edge, catching the wall when he can, trying to put those tires all the way against that wall to get the most grip possible to get a good exit, set and sail. I mean, this win, unless he does something crazy, which I don't expect him to, he's got this in the bag.
5 to go this time by the start finish line for Ryan Hodge in the 19. Now coming in to tonight, not even cracking the top 10 on the points for the number 19. We've seen a good bit of him this season, but not enough that has put him into championship contention. But I think, Terry, with the run he's had tonight, and if Aiden Force, if he would have been here for more of the rounds at the beginning, this is a championship run from Ryan Hodge, and I'm excited to see if he joins us more in the last half of this season, what that number 19 can do out here on the track, because he's got some real speed, holding 5 seconds, now growing that more over the 58 of Edmondson.
Yeah, he's absolutely putting on a stellar performance. Gets the pole, wins the heat, goes out, leads every lap so far, starting to catch the back end of the field as the white flag is out for him. He's money.
Beautifully done for Ryan Hodge. He gets the win in round number 6 in the feature for the Racecraft Outlaws Sprint Car Series. And it was done in dominating fashion for Ryan Hodge in the 19. A good win for him as he'll celebrate here from the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Everybody crossing the start-finish line, and we'll take a look at your full race results as 19 celebrates out there in turn 3 with Ryan Hodge grabbing the win. Josh Edmondson in second. Great points for him tonight in the feature. Matthew Lind gonna round out the top 3, and it was a bit of a scrap heap back from there with Josh Fox ending up in 4th with damage. Evan McFarland ending up 9 laps down in 5th with damage. Alderton, Aish, Baldwin, and Forster through the rest of the field, all running into a bit of issues here in the feature race. And that concludes the 9 drivers that took the green flag tonight in the feature. And the points are going to continue to develop as we get closer to a championship. But Aiden Forster finishing in 9th, Terry. That's not going to bode him well, especially with only 16 points separating him and Edmondson. It's going to be close when we go into the next round from Cedar Lake.
Yeah, and Cedar Lake's a really racy racetrack too. So if you make a mistake there, you're going to kind of be in some trouble. This is a good points day for Josh. Not so good for Forrester, but he's going to have to come out next week and he's going to have to do something big. He's going to have to continuously hope that Josh has issues and hope that he can go out here and put a couple wins down. But if Ryan Hodge does what he's doing here in the second half of the season, I wouldn't be too surprised if potentially we're talking about him maybe in that 3rd place fight for the points.
Let's not waste any time and get talking with your winner from tonight's feature here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. It's Ryan Hodge. And Ryan, welcome to the Racecraft TV booth for the first time tonight in the winner's circle. Congratulations on the win in the feature race. How'd you get it done?
Thank you. I mean, I couldn't do it without my team. We just put so much work throughout the week. I was off the sim for a whole month due to getting banned, but I mean, came back and didn't expect to win tonight because had no practice. My team just practiced while I was banned, and like I say, they just came out and got lucky.
Of course, this track being very short, very quick. Do you take well to these, Kokomo, Lima Land style tracks that are just very quick, very short, only being 1/3 of a mile here at I-55?
I really like the tracks like Lima and Kokomo, I-55. It's just they're technical. You have to place the car where you won't fly over the fence or you won't like be right in the slick. You have to just put it right on the cushion and let it rip, I guess.
And moving forward in the campaign, how much can we expect from you when we go to Cedar Lake, Knoxville, Weedsport, and all the way through to Lucas Oil Speedway to round out the campaign?
Well, I hope same luck continues, as I only got to run about, I think, 3 shows this season, and I think went undefeated. I'm not sure though, but I mean, I hope same luck goes throughout all those shows. But Knoxville is probably my worst track, so.
Well, we look forward to seeing more of you in the future here in the Racecraft Outlaws Sprint Car Series. Ryan, congratulations on your win tonight. Anybody else you want to say hi to?
Just want to thank KES Industries, all the guys over there, Hot Bottom Industries, Competition Transmission Gear, and just everyone who put a wrench on this race car.
Congratulations again on the win, Ryan. Go celebrate with the team.
Thank you.
Good to hear from your feature race winner tonight. That's Ryan Hodge in the number 19. And we continue on. Third place finisher on the night in the feature was Matthew Lind in the 3. And he's now standing by with Terry Radford.
Well, Matthew, you come home third here. And what was the damage like on that thing?
Yeah, no, my right front was like towed out like big time. I wish I was able to catch up to Josh, but there was just no shot with the damage. It was basically impossible.
Well, let's talk about what next week is, Cedar Lake. A little bit different than what this track is. You expected to go in there and keep some momentum rolling after this third place?
I hope. I don't have zero experience at Cedar Lake. I don't even know the track. Well, I'll turn a lot of laps in that. Hopefully we get a good finish like I-55 here.
Matthew, I'll pick up from here. And throughout the season so far, been some really, really good results from you. Can we expect the same as we go into Cedar Lake and the back half of the calendar? Is this number 3 machine going to keep on climbing up the standings, possibly grab a win?
Yeah, hopefully. It's just been basically all bad luck this season so far. It's just been a lot of wrecks and stuff that I've been in, and hopefully this, like I-55, it continues, and hopefully I'm able to finish on the lead lap and get good results for the team.
Well, congratulations tonight on your finish, Matthew. Go celebrate with the team on the podium, and anybody else you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, I would definitely, like Ryan said, I would definitely like to thank KES Industries and all of our sponsors, Fluid Logic, Pit Viper, Milan, Marvin Sports, just everyone who helps out, builds the setups. I mean, we work day and night working on these setups, and we put a lot of work in. It's great to see like the results show.
Congratulations again on the podium, Matthew. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Great to hear from Matthew Lind and Ryan Hodge, 2 of our podium finishers tonight. But Terry, power going out isn't going to stop you from getting us through the close here. And unfortunately, stopped you about halfway through Matthew's interview. But you're back with me for the close. And we're going to another very, very short track with a lake right in the middle of it. Cedar Lake Speedway on January the 10th, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Racecraft TV. More of these short tracks that these drivers are going to need a little bit more finesse and are going to need to race a little bit cleaner, I think, than they raced tonight. We saw a lot of damaged race cars, and that's not going to fly as we enter into the halfway point of the campaign for the points.
Yeah, good thing I had my phone charged, and I don't need Wi-Fi to make this thing run. So, yeah, I think it's going to be super fun. This was a good race. 9 drivers showing up, saw early incidents, take some of the heavy hitters out. Obviously took Aiden Forrester, our points leader, out. It was good to see Josh Edmondson capitalize on that opportunity to go up there and get that second place drive with the beat up car. And it's the same thing for Matthew Lind coming on third, beat up. But what a drive from Hodge. It just absolutely waxed the field. He might be maybe stringing us along just a little bit. But he didn't have a whole lot of practice over there at their.
We'll see what Ryan Hodge can do with the remainder of the calendar, and we'll see what the rest of our drivers are going to be able to do. Remember, 1 week from tonight, Cedar Lake, January the 10th, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're on every Tuesday night in January as the World of Outlaws Car Quest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing winds down. We'll keep going to the middle of March, and we'll have our championship finale March the 14th at Lucas Oil Speedway. But for now, we're saying good night from the virtual Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. For my colleague in the booth, Terry Radford, my name is Joshua Lee. Congratulations to Ryan Hodge on taking the win tonight. We'll see what he can do and what the rest of our top stars of Racecraft Outlaws can do as the Sprint Car Series continues on from iRacing's virtual Cedar Lake. For now, it's good night from I-55.